Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. To start things off, Bitcoin fell below 10,000 US dollars on the 10th of February as sudden volatility saw markets abandon five figures just a day after reaching them. Data from Coin360 and Cointelegraph markets showed the BTC to US dollar dips to low of 9,850 US dollars as of press time, followed by a bounce back to 10,000 and subsequent fluctuation in the upper range of 9,900. But it gets even better, I do promise you. There's a little chart right there. For those of you not looking at the screen, there's a dip. And the dip, of course, is not organic. It was not done by normal people. Tens of millions of people around the world who are trading, buying, and selling Bitcoin. So what could it have possibly been? The move coincided with the start of a fresh week of trading on futures markets, with Bitcoin filling a gap left at the end of trading on Friday. Specifically, CME Group's futures finished last week at around 9,850, currently exactly the same exact level which Bitcoin fell on Monday. Weird, right? Rising and falling to hit empty patches in futures is a common feature for Bitcoin. Not really. Cointelegraph noting various instances over the past year in particular which have dictated short-term market movements. There's that little dip right there, which doesn't make a lot of sense, or does it? As the price dropped to 9,900, here we go, a single buyer, one human being on derivatives giant BitMEX, purchased over 2 million US dollars worth of Bitcoin in a single transaction. Data from monitoring resource Whale Traders has said. The point is, I mentioned before, there should be no one out there who is even remotely surprised. When we pass by 10,000, expect a dip down. People are often told, this is how I view the world, people are often told that when we reach a new high, when we reach a new something, that there needs to be a drop down, or that other people around the world will be afraid. There would be a selling wall, if you will, when we hit a brand new, awesome looking number, and therefore prices have to go down. This, my friends, these are organic. These are people around the world who are desperately trying to, they see that the price is going one direction, they buy up. This is organic. This, however, is not. The one person purchasing 2 million US dollars worth of Bitcoin as it fell below 10,000, sure. And the entire thing about that Bitcoin fills the gap with futures. Keep in mind, we have a lot of major players in the cryptocurrency Bitcoin price space right now. It is not only us. Never forget to keep that in the front of your mind. So there are people who are either trying to match Bitcoin's price to the other futures stuff that end up when the contract expires or when they chug back along and start back up again. Or it's simply just people trying to manipulate the market to acquire as much Bitcoin as possible. Do you know how much $2 million worth of Bitcoin is? It's a lot. It's not a little bit. So I assume all these things that, look, I mean, come on. This would mean that at least several 100,000 people around the world at the exact same moment were all like, sell it. I doubt that's what happened. However, the news is that Bitcoin's price is once again slightly below 10,000. But if you look around, you find much news, a lot of news. There's a lot of news floating. Nah, come on. It's far too obvious. There's a lot of news about that Bitcoin still, however, looks bullish despite any pullback that we might have had, because I'm pretty sure other people are noticing the shenanigans right here as Bitcoin's price dipped. And of course, with no delay at all, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says Ripple price analysis, XRP remains in strong uptrend above 27%. This one says Ethereum tumbles at 230 but remains largely bullish, of course, because nothing has changed. None of the fundamentals that passed over the past 3 weeks have changed, except for the people who were trying to push the price down so that they could acquire more Bitcoin under 10,000. That's all that's really changed. This one says, this is I think probably one of the weirdest things about the cryptocurrency space. This article came out hours before the price even dropped. It said, here's why Bitcoin bulls must wait for a dip to 98.50 to enter again. Where's the number? Really weird that the CME Futures Group also had the price at 98.50. And this article was also talking about that Bitcoin's price had to drop to 98.50 before starting back up again. And this one right here says, this simple analysis says Bitcoin will jump 15% to 11,500 in coming weeks. Not one person on this planet knows where Bitcoin's price is going to go. It may be that you are rich enough to be able to move Bitcoin's price. However, no one knows exactly where the price is going to be. On the flip side of that, we do see an enormous amount of bullishness around the cryptocurrency space. I've seen a couple of articles and even a couple of people on Twitter who either, and I mean, it could be a wide range of assets. They may not like Bitcoin. They may not like XRP. They may not like Ether. There was even an article where I think people Bitcoin maximalists who hated, was it Tezos or Tron? Something that started with a T. And they were talking about how bullish they are on that. So we appear to be in once again, 2017 was just like this. You know, and you know why I think we're also, I'm sure a lot of you have also noticed this as well. People were writing in the comment section the other day and I saw there were thousands of them. I was going to say people, they were bots. Kept on talking about a cryptocurrency called Prism, P-R-I-Z-M, and I saw some of the accounts writing it as P-R-I-S-M. These were clearly bots because every single account that was writing about it, excuse me, didn't have proper English, and they were all Russian accounts, and they were all saying the exact same thing over and over. When the markets, when Bitcoin went from 3,000 to 14,000 before, I don't know if you noticed, I definitely noticed, the comment section was full of some other coin. It was like Hot Onion or something like that. There was some other coin, and I kept on seeing it, and I saw it so often, I was like, maybe I should look into it as well. From my vantage point, it appeared to be a scam, and I'm glad that a lot of other people in the comment section were like screaming at the bots, and they were like, F off bot, you're terrible. This happens whenever there's new momentum in the cryptocurrency market. Why? Because people like to go away. People like to scam other people. And when they see that there is new money waiting on the side or old money waiting on the side looking to get back into the market, people typically sometimes will look for articles, they'll look in comment sections, they'll look at YouTube videos to see what's the haps, to see what's going on within the cryptocurrency space. And if they see an entire comment section flooded with the word Prism, they're going to look up the word Prism, try to buy some Prism, and therefore the price of Prism ends up going up. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everyone else in the other comment section says, well, I bought some. I saw one of the bots talking about it, but it's up by 85%. And that's how a scam kind of works. So be prepared. First of all, stay focused and remain vigilant on the same exact path that you are. Pay attention to the real coins. If you see something else popping up in my comment section, another comment section, in your email box, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you get your cryptocurrency news, that tells you to get some other new coin, because a brand new coin, because it's up by 142% over the last 6 weeks, that is a scam. So just make sure, once again, they're going to be, I can only imagine the stuff that's going to be coming up. If Bitcoin passes by 15, nearing 20,000, the comment section will be flooded with scams. Go around them. The point being, regardless of this drop and or this super organic drop right here, my goodness, the majority of the cryptocurrency market remains incredibly bullish, and we are expecting prices to continue on their upward trend as we get closer to May. Next up, in news that was everywhere news, American provider of investment data known as Weiss Ratings has ranked Bitcoin as excellent by assigning it an A- grade due to strong price performance. In a tweet published on the 7th of February, Weiss Ratings announced the Weiss crypto rating for #BTC is now an A-. Excellent. Thanks to improving fundamentals and positive price action ahead of Bitcoin's next halving. Previously, in late March 2019, Weiss Ratings put Bitcoin aside XRP and EOS as cryptocurrencies that have the best combination of adoption and technology. Now, Bitcoin has a higher grade than both of those assets, with XRP standing at a B- and EOS at a C. After a downgrade for centralization, there was a huge discussion about a couple of months ago. People don't like how few nodes there are on EOS, and the way that many people who have bought up much EOS and they control a lot of RAM on the network are able to kind of decide things on the network as things are moving. So this is why it appears that EOS has a C for the centralization. I don't think it was C on purpose. Anyway, XRP's current rating is also lower than the A. It was assigned in March. Comparatively, China, one of the most blockchain-friendly countries worldwide, periodically issues its own cryptocurrency ratings, namely for China's state-backed tech work group, the Center for Information and Industry Development, or the CCID. Latest ratings published at the end of September put Bitcoin in the 11th spot. They put, I think EOS was the top, Tron was second, Ethereum was third, XRP on the other hand was ranked 12th. And apparently Weiss is saying that Bitcoin is or has an A- because of the having the block reward going from 12.5 Bitcoin to 6.25 Bitcoin, strong network, etc., etc. This news was everywhere. I mean, I remember when Weiss first released their ratings, I think Bitcoin had like a D or something like that, or a C-, and the internet lost it. This was about a good year and a half ago, maybe even 2 years. We're in 2020. Yeah, maybe about 2 years at this point. People were not too excited because Bitcoin is number one, and therefore they expected Bitcoin to automatically be number one. But Weiss was like, yeah, Bitcoin's slow, and Bitcoin can't do this. And I think at this point, there wasn't the entire discussion of like heavy interoperability and like atomic swaps and DeFi being on Bitcoin. So all of these things coupled together, and also I guess the strength of the network. Typically when you hear about Bitcoin, for those of you who may not listen to the news, I just found out a couple days ago, I know a lot of people in my life who haven't turned on the news in a couple of years, and I envy them because they are with less stress. One of the main things that's usually discussed about Bitcoin is that on the network, there's been zero to no downtime, i.e. we had news, what was it, a couple of weeks ago? It was either BSV or Bcash. I think they were offline, or there was a down moment for about an hour. Bitcoin, I think in the very beginning, like around 2010, I think there were a couple of minutes where the network was kind of down, and this was when they were still having, for those of you who never read about the beginning of Bitcoin's history and stuff like that, when the first people were not testing it out, but like using it and mining coins and stuff like that, they were actually messaging Satoshi back and forth and telling him like, yeah, I actually mined too many coins today, or like, guys, this so-and-so happened, or this ended up taking place. He was like fixing the code, or they were fixing the code behind the scenes. But thus far, in the last 10, 11 years, Bitcoin's network has had zero downtime. That's not to say that it hasn't been slow, but there's never been a point where it's been like Visa or MasterCard and they've had like 8 hours where the entire system is off. Anyway, those are the Weiss ratings. Here's the tweet for it right here. And without further ado, let us move on now. Unless you're tired of the good news, with Bitcoin crossing $10,000 for the first time this year, crypto trader and strategist Joe Saz says we are now firmly in the disbelief phase. Oh yeah, I firmly believe this. He says that we are now firmly in the disbelief phase of a new long-term Bitcoin bull market, with market participants struggling to wake up and believe the bear market is actually over. He says, I've been talking about Bitcoin having been in a disbelief run or phase of the bull market, and I think that's still happening right now. In a new interview with Block TV, Saz talks about how high he thinks Bitcoin can go in this current bull run. He says, my intense bullish projection is around $300,000 per Bitcoin until this market bubble bursts. You know how what? You know what? You know what I would do if Bitcoin hit? What? I can't even imagine. I don't even party. I would have so many parties just for the sake of being able to. So he said, I think we're going to, what? 300,000? He said, so I think we're going to have another bubble. Yes. Probably in 2 or 3 years from now. I think Bitcoin is going to break 6 figures by far. And 300,000 is my estimation. Probably more like the mid 300,000s. But I think this is the bull run that takes us to those beautiful numbers. Never forget, ever, if we get to a situation this year or next year or in the next 2 to 3 years where Bitcoin goes anywhere from 100,000 to 300,000, just be aware that you might wake up and Bitcoin might have dropped by 18 to 25%. Every bull market is always the same. Bitcoin goes from 10 cents to $25 and falls back down to $8. Bitcoin goes from $8 to $1,200 and then falls back down to 180. Bitcoin goes from 180 to 20,000 and then we fell back down. This was a pretty good one. We fell back down from 20 to 3,000. Not as crazy as some of the other ones, but we are currently with Bitcoin going from give or take 3,000 to around 10,000-ish right now. A lot of the projections that we keep seeing are usually around the same exact number. So we're getting Bitcoin prices quoted, palpitations. We're getting Bitcoin prices quoted anywhere from 50,000 this year to over the next 2 to 3 years. Of the highest I've seen previously before was a $180,000 Bitcoin. This one says 300,000. I would not be upset at all, but I would definitely I would be so prepared because if we even got to 200,000, I would call on my friends and go, okay, just have your finger on the sell button, because I would wholeheartedly believe we would fall back down to at least an $18,000 to $25,000 Bitcoin. Just random numbers, but yeah, we keep getting tons of news like this. I don't mean to hype everyone up, but I bring you the news as it is, and this news is everywhere. Do you remember when we had this discussion in 2018 and 2019? I said, I know the news sometimes is negative, and I apologize for that, but I didn't make it. It just is what it is. So a lot of the news that we had was about adoption, and this was happening, and this was custodying, but the cryptocurrency prices kept on falling, so I had to talk about them. And now, like an avalanche that just will not end, the news is constantly talking about where that either we are on the cusp of a bull market, we are in a bull market in a disbelief phase, or it's always cumulative of both of those, talking about that Bitcoin is targeting 50 to 300,000 US dollars over the course from now, over the next 2 to 3 years. I think by the time we get to 2024, we should probably logically be over a $100,000 Bitcoin, if not a $250,000 Bitcoin. These are just numbers that I'm throwing out of my mouth. However, yeah, it's everywhere. It's exciting to hear. It's exciting to read. Keep always in mind this may not come true. However, when you have big players in the game who are buying up $2 million worth of Bitcoin because their pockets are fat, yeah, let's move on. Binance is in the news. On Friday, digital asset exchange Binance announced that its futures trading platform, known as Binance Futures, is soon launching Binance Coin Futures. Until today's announcement, Binance's futures had launched 16 perpetual contracts for Bitcoin, Ether, Bcash, XRP, EOS, Litecoin, Tron, Ethereum Classic, Link, Lumens, ADA, Monero, Dash, Zcash, and Tezos? I think that's Tezos, and Cosmos. The new product has a maximum leverage of 50x, and it is being launched on 8 a.m. on today. Aaron Gong, director of Binance Futures, had this to say: after the success of our initial BTC contract, we focused on bringing Binance's signature trading excellence and experience to newly added pairs. We've introduced 16 altcoins to our platform as of today, and I've seen excellent growth in our trading volume altcoin money. So Binance is launching Binance Coin Futures, which I would have assumed would have been the second one after Bitcoin. But alas, here we are. For those of you who are looking to futures Binance Coin, there you go. And of course, as always, Binance, the second largest crypto exchange by daily trading volume, has enabled instant purchases of 4 major digital currencies with the Russian ruble. The development allows Binance users to link their Visa banking card and purchase Bitcoin, Ether, Binance Coin, and XRP with the ruble. According to a 5th of February announcement, the exchange claims that users can complete a purchase in less than a minute. Those are big claims, and do not have to make deposits prior to a purchase. In the near future, Binance is planning to launch a MasterCard support, as well as other currencies. This is the 38th fiat currency that we now have support for. I think they can do it. I mean, they announced they wanted to do 180 by the end of this year. I mean, even if they did 5, that's a lot more than other places. There are a couple of other currency exchanges, crypto exchanges, who have support for like 8 fiat currencies. So the fact, and even pay attention to this as well. Should we have a major, mega, crazy, ultra bull run, which exchange has support for the Russian ruble, the Turkish lira? What were the other things that they added? They added like 18 Vietnamese dong. I don't think many other exchanges have support for these currencies. So yeah, we'll see where that's going to go. And to finish things off, Bitcoin's price has surpassed $10,000 on the 9th of February, breaking its key psychological support or level, and in doing so reached its highest point since October of last year. But to many, 10,000 US dollars is just the beginning before the top cryptocurrency reaches a much higher level. Anthony Pompliano, co-founder and partner at Morgan Creek Digital, believes that Bitcoin's price can hit 100,000 at the end of 2021 due to the limited supply and increased demand. Said Bitcoin just hit 10K. I still think that Bitcoin will hit 100,000 by the end of December 2021. Big supply, increasing demand. Time will tell. This has been a significant news to the Bitcoin holders, as crypto analyst Willy Woo commented earlier today. This breakout is the real deal. Fundamental investment activity is backing this 10K breakout. Even people who were once bearish and who kept on getting on my nerves talking about that Bitcoin's price was going to go lower, and I know that they scared other people and caused them to sell their Bitcoin, are now all talking about how bullish they are on the market and how this breakout is real. It's a lot to deal with. It's because I do think we are in this heavy disbelief portion of it. You see it go over 10K, but you wonder, did it really go over 10K? How long is it going to stay over 10K? Are we about to fall back to 9,000? If we fall back to 9,000, when we start getting news that Bitcoin's headed back down to 6,200, what is going to happen? What will take place? No one knows. However, there's never a dull day in the cryptocurrency space, the cryptocurrency market. And I'm always happy to be here, even if they are some frustrating days. But that's what Pompliano believes, and that's what Willy Woo, I'm also surprised at. Willy Woo, me and him, I've never spoken to the guy, but we had some arguments before, maybe in my head, about him constantly telling people that Bitcoin was going to drop and was going to crash, and don't buy until around 3,000-4,000. Anyway, let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Chongololo, Tsongololo, Nostromo, Mr. Pickles, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Barebones Mining, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohair Maroney, Master Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Milweezy Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Nicholas for North One Piece One Love, Damian Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Cryptome Beer Shipmate Paxis, Nick Mangialavori. I think I say Paxis that way because I have it all in caps, so that has to be the reason for it. Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Chest Every Day, Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Arfmedic17, Bake Me a Cake, and Tigara Machonisa. Thank you all very, very much for your support. And I just realized as I was reading out the names, I think I'm having dreams about the names of my Patreon supporters. I'm fairly certain I said the name Nick Mangialavori, Yes to Crypto, and Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff in my dreams last night. That's scary. And thank you all very, very much to everyone who is a member of the channel and has hit the little join button directly below the video. At the moment, the top 8 are all in red. Bitcoin is currently down by 2.47%, currently at 98.38. We'll see what happens as the rest of the world ends up waking up, because I assume a lot of this is taking place from the Asian market trading session, as the rest of the world should still be in a lullabied sleep. Binance Coin is up by 7.47%. I would assume this has to do with the launch of the Binance Coin futures today. Just logically, Tezos is still up. Tezos doesn't seem to go down. It is up by 5.89%. I assume, I'm not going to assume, but at the moment it is still up. Nothing. I was gonna say Tezos Tezos is fascinating, because I wonder how high it will go. What's this circulating supply? 660 million, 10, 6.6 billion, 60, 100, 600. Yeah, that's where kind of gets it gets kind of foggy. $1, 600, 1.6 billion, 7.5, 2, 8, 6, 10. I can see Tezos hitting $10. Hitting $100 is a bit more difficult, because then it would have a $60 billion market cap. I guess it's possible. 60 billion, 61, 5, and then yeah, maybe 600 billion. Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. Nothing else is. Huobi token's also up. There's been no Huobi token news, but clearly 4 hours ago, someone got some kind of news, because the price is also going up. Bitfinex's token is also going up. Maybe they're just trying to mimic Binance, and Lisk is also up by 36%. Who knows why, but Lisk your life. That was terrible. Right. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it's absolutely freaking-tastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. I hope you enjoy your week. Hope you enjoy your Monday. It's raining, it's snowing, it's cold. If you are, I think there's like a hurricane or something somewhere. The world is fascinating right now. Just stay inside. Don't leave your house. That was a joke. If you have to work, of course you gotta leave your house. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.